experiences in this game that it feels like there's always something that's going to surprise you at some point, right? So makes sense. Okay, and I see that you have kind of settled, at least at the time of the form, with Hanzo, interested in Genji. How has that, why Hanzo initially? Have you expanded your hero pool since you filled out the form? And then I guess, what's with the interest in Genji? What about Genji initially appeals to you?
So I've mostly stayed with Hanzo.
Hmm.
I saw what really like got me into Hanzo is like I remember one quick play game as I was like learning the game where like a Hanzo on the other team just like ran the game and like destroyed us. And like I was frustrated, but I also thought it was really cool because he was just very consistent at hitting those shots, and that was like super sick. So then
Yep.
I'm like, wait a minute, I want to learn this character. Like he can be really strong. Like this is fun. Um, and then I started playing him, and I got like just obsessed with like the sound of his headshots.
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it has a feel to it that's just awesome.
Yeah.
Um, so that's kind of how I got into him. I got interested in Genji just because I just from watching like Necros and stuff, and I'm like, that's really cool too. And
Hmm.
it's like in a lot of ways, it's very opposite to Hanzo. So it was
Yes.
like refreshing now, like that I've been playing him for like a few hundred hours now. It's like uh, it's refreshing. I haven't stuck with him too much lately. Um, just I've been like focusing on like figuring out Hanzo so far this season. Just because it's been a significant change not one-shotting anymore. At least to me.
Hmm.
Uh, I've been exploring some more Widowmaker this season. I haven't really taken her to comp much yet, but like I'm debating if I'm gonna play her a little more. Uh, yeah, honestly, like so far this season, like with college and stuff, I've had less time to like
Of
experiment
course.
with this stuff.
Of course. Which definitely kind of plays into your initial thought, which is what can I do to be efficient, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we'll take some work into that. What are we going to be looking at in terms of gameplay today? Is it going to be Hanzo or is it going to be Genji? Is it going to be something else?
So I have a Hanzo game that I played yesterday. It was one of those where it's like I as I was playing, I knew that I could win it.
Mm,
I just wasn't doing. I was missing something. Like it felt very much in reach, and I could
yeah.
tell that I wasn't
Okay.
getting the
Okay.
point.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, so we'll finish up your form here. What do you hope to get out of the session? You say specific points to focus on, how to be more consistent, better approach to improvement. Now, obviously, specific points to focus on, better approach to improvement. We know all that, but you say is how to be more consistent. Is it what about your Hanzo feels inconsistent? What about your play feels inconsistent right
So I think a really, really common theme with me is I will start to by like just running the game. Um, so like, I'll do a bunch of really good plays and it looks like I'm about to just roll this team. Um, but then they adapt to me and I don't know what to do about it afterward. Um, I get very stuck on that. Like I can feel that they're paying more attention to me. They're reading what I'm trying to do. Like they're getting used to like kind of my play style.
now?
And then I can't keep going to that. So then like I become inconsistent because like I start really well and then I'm basically useless. Sometimes I figure out how to play around it. Most of the time I don't, and I feel like that's where a lot of my losses come in.
What adjustments are they making? Does anything specifically come to mind?
Um, I have trouble telling how much is them, how much is me. It feels like they will just be pinging. I'll notice them pinging me a lot more. Um, so like when I go on an angle, I will like immediately get pinged and spammed. Just like the Ramatra will like throw stuff at me. The Junkrat will throw bombs at me. The DPS will like immediately start to like peel if I went for a support or something.
Mhm.
Um, I have trouble telling how much of that is my over aggression
Okay.
at some point. At some points, but sometimes it feels like just can't get away with anything because I'm getting followed around.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. There's really two adjustments that you have to be aware of. One is attention quantity, essentially. This is something that whenever I was on my Farah grind trying to learn how to rework, I was struggling with where I would materialize, and I don't know how much of that was Farah versus how much of that was streamer buff, you know?
Yeah.
I would have like 4 people on me
Yeah.
instantly. Like I would have, they would counter swap me every time. It was Ashe, Echo, Mercy, Diva, like every other game, right?
Yeah.
But I also won a lot of games because of that. Because if I was attentive and alert enough to notice that adjustment, then I would play very baity, not passively necessarily, but I would save my cooldowns, right?
Yeah.
They look after me, they chase me, and I just shift it, like rocket away, dash away, concussive blast away, and they just lose the fight over and over and over and over again.
I think that's like the decider that I've noticed a lot. It's like if I like it goes one of two ways. It's like either I'll notice like 1 or 2 players are like tilted at me, and either I play them or they play me. Like either they get in my head or I'm in their head, and I just keep rolling them again and again.
It's a very volatile place to be, right? But it also is very rewarding because when you feel like you won, you didn't just win, you dominated them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's one other adjustment to be aware of, because that one is obvious, and that one takes practice, recognition, and honestly a little bit of mental fortitude. But the other one is your matchups. Do you have any hero that you particularly don't like playing versus? And if so, why?
May drives me nuts. I feel like she just feels very, very difficult for me to kill.
Okay.
And I get impatient with her. So like I have to be very much aware, like, you forced out ice block, just leave it alone, come back later. Or don't try to get into a spam fight with her and waste time from far away. I think that's the flyers can be a little bit annoying, but at this point, like, I'm kind of used to it, and I kind of enjoy the challenge of hitting the flying targets.
It's because you understand the challenge. It doesn't feel like a mystery.
Yeah, I really like playing against Pharahs because that's when I get into like, I'm wall climbing into weird spots. I'm having a great time like moving around the Pharah to get an angle.
Yeah. Interesting.
But I wouldn't say there's.
No, go ahead. Finish with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's many like matchups that I particularly like just hate. I noticed some of them are a little harder, like Genji and stuff. But.
So your adjustments are maybe more to do with how much attention you're getting, and less to do with what you're playing into.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Anything else that you think that matters as part of that adjustment? Maybe is it something on your end that you feel like I start really hot and then I just lose steam at the end?
Yeah, I think the point you mentioned on just like mental fortitude is like a thing with me. Like, because if I do notice, like, if I'm getting really like negative and like annoyed, it's like I have like 2 ways of approaching it, and I kind of need to work on approaching it like the positive way, because otherwise, like, I'll just get annoyed, like, just that they are like aware of me. It's
yes,
like, just let me play. Like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't want to have to make those adjustments. Why do I have to make those adjustments? Kind of a thing. Yeah.
That gets in my head. It's like just so I have to work on that, I think.
Okay.
Kind of.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that like going into the games feeling like I have to always be on can be a little bit exhausting, right? I know that I felt like that with Sombra. I know I felt like that with Farah. I know that that's a common complaint for Genji and Tracer players as well, where I just have to put a certain level of effort in, and that's not demanded from the opposite side. But that's also generally where we find the most fun out of gaming, right? Is when we are fully tuned in. So the most rewarding experiences are when you're fully engaged. So I think for you is it's, like especially with your education and a lot of other things going on in your life right now, at least having a section of time where you're going to be fully engaged, and then having the maturity and honesty with yourself to know, like, all right, I'm not fully engaged right now. Maybe now is not the best time for me to go full try hard. Or if I do, to like limit the quantity, right? So that I don't put myself in these bad headspaces where I'm associating negative things with the game and honestly wasting your time because you're not improving either. So what that might mean is when you have the spectrum of 1 to 4 hours daily of playtime, depending on the day, of course, don't just tune that in with your availability. Tune that in with your energy and your focus for that day as well.
Gotcha.
Still show up and train, But if you're like, I have 4 hours to play today, but I really slept poorly and I just feeling had a kind of a crappy day, then maybe it's a day where you play 2 ranked games and then you just stack with some friends in quick play and off roll and screw around a little bit, or go on your Genji ult and just have some fun and try and learn a new character or something like that. It's not, you don't want to avoid the challenge, but you don't want to throw yourself under a bar that's 6 times too heavy for you right now, especially if those adjustments are something that you're struggling with already as it is.
Cool. Yeah.
That would be something to experiment with. Just experiment with it. Like the last time I played ranked, it was Farah on stream Saturday. I slept really badly, and that just so happened to be the day where everybody was counter swapping me, and I was reviewing the game for some Farah guide I'm working on right now, and I was astonished at how bad I played. And the best part about it is I knew I was going to play bad before I even started playing, and yet I still played like the full 5-6 games or whatever. It was a mistake. It's just a waste of time. Like I just wasn't fully engaged, and it just was a waste of time. Yeah. Okay. Now, do you warm up?
Yeah. Usually I'll backstep.
Sure. How long?
Usually only like 5 minutes. I don't do
Sure.
too much of it. I used to
Works
do
for
a
me.
lot, but lately.
Yeah. Okay. Do you take breaks between games?
When I remember to, I usually don't.
Okay. Try to
Sometimes I
remember 2
remember.
more. Just treat it as like, oh, I'm in queue. I'm getting up from my computer.
Yeah.
That's the challenge. 60 seconds. Yeah, because I know a lot of DPS queues, especially you're gold still?
Yeah.
Gold. So the DPS queues are going to be pretty fast. I'd say 2 to 3 minutes, I assume, most of the time, depending on when you're queuing. Yeah, so use 60 seconds every time. Every single time. Aim for it. It was going to help not only with your health, energy, mental focus, but it's going to actually help with these adjustment periods, right? We're talking about like how much mental energy it takes. Well, this is a quote unquote life hack to assist with that. So utilize it. You don't have to be perfect with it, but do try to aim to improve that habit. Plat short term, GM long term. Consistency is a problem. We talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Keep in mind as well that consistency is also it's the fountain of immortality of Overwatch, right? It doesn't exist. Everybody wants consistency. Nobody has consistency. The ways to improve your consistency are to improve your sleep, to improve your ranked hygiene, like taking breaks, for example, going in full energy, full focus. Those things will improve. Warming up like you do with Vaxta. But ultimately, that's like 75, 60% of your consistency is controllable. But there's like 25, 30% that just doesn't matter how perfect you are. It's just uncontrollable. So just embracing it and not worrying as much about it, and just going into games with the goals and not really worrying about your overall performance. Just being like, oh, this is my so-and-so game where I practice this skill. If I'm inconsistent with my aim or I'm feeding, but I'm practicing this skill, that is a success, and not worrying as much about your performance.
So like just take out a thing, right?
Yeah. Not worrying about the consistency beyond what you can control is really important. Okay. Let's see here. 7 hours of sleep per night on average could be better.
Yeah.
We talk about like the taking break between every game. Try to get in the habit of that. If you're trying to get in the habit of adding 15 minutes onto your sleep time, and I'm not even being facetious here, I literally mean it. If you can add 15 minutes of sleep per night, you're talking about 2 more hours of sleep per week. That adds up. It's going to help you learn better, regulate your emotions better, and so on. I know you're rather busy. You talked about being at university and so on, but do your best to do that. Do your best. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
That's my recommendation. Okay. Do you have any other questions for me from your form?
I can't think of anything. I think.
Okay. Well, I don't really have any other questions for you. If you want to jump into some gameplay here.
Sweet. Yeah. All right. Here we go. All right. I will DM you the code.
All right.
Let's see.
Second.
And this one, I know I was tired too, so this will be fun.
Awesome. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it'll be fun to see how you play when you're tired.
Yeah.
But also it's going to be a good, hey, how many of these mistakes are things that, oh, I'm just tired. That's really all there is to it, you know, and there's not a whole lot more to pull from it. So, you know, we'll definitely look at it, but also it may be or may not be a good reminder of like, okay, this is you when you're tired. You know, what is it, like the Snickers commercial? This is, you're not you when you're hungry.
Yeah.
You're really not you when you're tired. I can tell you that much. So, okay, do you want to take a look at the Widow here as well?
I mean, we can. I don't. I don't think
You could just say no if you'd like.
Yeah, you know, let's pass on. Let's pass on.
Okay, let's pass on the Widow gameplay. Let's pass on it. We don't want to see your 99% critical hit accuracy. I get it. You don't want to make me feel bad about myself. I appreciate that. Exactly. I appreciate that. That's very considerate of you. Okay, so Hanzo. What does Hanzo do? What is Hanzo good at? Is there anything recently you've been practicing with Hanzo? And so on.
So that I've been practicing, nothing specific lately. I've just been getting used to like, because I've had to shift from, I have to be much more aware of Storm Arrow right now. So I guess if anything, that's what I've been working on. Because
yes,
I mean, I can't just one shot. I have to like shoot then Storm Arrow. And like I'm learning how to that new loop. In general, I think what a lot of his strength is like, I can be annoying from range, but I can take lots of angles with my mobility and control like all sorts of like long sight lines. But at the same time, I'm not super vulnerable, like maybe you would say with Widow or with Ashe, because I can get out. And then I have Sonic, which is really cool.
I think the big thing for you is it's like, I'm looking through the patch notes here. Storm Arrow cooldown was reduced, damage was increased. Yeah, you're much more reliant off of Storm Arrow. The way to look at it right now is that you have consistent long range pressure for the most part. But the biggest thing for you is that adjustment of that you need to lean into the duelist mindset. You do not lean into the one-shot mindset, you lean into the duelist mindset, where from charging a shot into Storm Arrow, you are a very, 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 very strong mid-range duelist.
Yeah.
So if you're not leveraging that, like you were saying, then your entire cycle needs to be focusing on that. And what would be smart for me to do in terms of this 1v1? Like, well, what's the best way I could play this 1v1? And focus on that almost exclusively.
Yeah.
Case in point, right?
Yeah. That's been one of the things I've kind of enjoyed.
I love the fact that you just forget how to wall climb because you're EMP'd.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that. I love that change. I remember when that change went through. It was very questionable.
I was very, very happy to do that.
So let's talk about this. What's the mistake here? It's a very micro mistake, but it's an important mistake.
I think here, when I don't have the wall climb, I walk out into the open instead of back into that corridor.
That's it. The irony here is that you're moving away from Doomfist, but by moving away from Doomfist, you make it easier for him and for his team to follow up and kill you.
Yeah.
Where should you have rotated at this point in time instead of lunging this way? Kind of already said it, right?
Yeah, I should have tried to go into that hallway with
that's it.
Tank.
Use cover. You could literally just play Ring Around the Rosy this Doomfist, and you would have had a significantly higher chance of actually living this engagement. Now, would you have actually lived this engagement? I don't think so. But hey, you might have traded on the Doom. Maybe you live long enough and kill the BAP or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's just generally migrating into the open needs to be something that you avoid like the plague.
Yeah. I'll keep an eye on that.
Okay. We'll keep talking about it. Feel free, by the way, if you have any questions, to speak up.
Yeah, I will. Thank you. We need to take back the lead.
Nice. Nice. So let's talk about positioning. What do you want for positioning for Hanzo?
I want to be able to see them.
Yep.
Probably here, if I'm to the right and high up, I can probably have like cover, but also see them well.
What range do you play? Depends, right?
Medium.
Medium usually, but what if it's like a Widowmaker, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna want to get close to her. That's right. What if it's like a Reaper? Oh, Unless I have Storm Arrow, there's no real reason for me to get close. I'll play further away. So we talk about cover. We talk about having an off angle. We have range. This is something that I've been coaching with Hanzo and other characters for a long time. We call it car positioning. So cover, angle, range. Do you have cover right now?
No.
Do you have an angle?
Not really.
Do you have range?
If I could see them, yes, but
yes,
I can't really see them.
Kind of, sort of. So you are positioning.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's funny because before I even ask you where you're going, you already answered it. You told me you want to go like here. And do you have cover?
Here I would have cover, yeah.
Yep. Angle, range? Yes, yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it. The question is, why are you not where you know to go?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think during the course of games, it just, I think, I don't know. I feel like must not be thinking, because like a lot of times when I die, I have like the same thing. I'm like, what was I doing there?
You're a smart person, but you're a dumb player.
Yeah,
is the way to look at it.
I guess so.
And welcome to the club, right? Because I'm coaching Overwatch and have been coaching Overwatch League level players, top 500, and I'm Masters, which is a significantly worse than my level of knowledge. Is because I'm just not very good at applying what I know, because it's not good enough to know. You have to apply it, right? And not just mechanically, but in these crazy, you have to be able to know, just do things, right? And so the problem is there's two problems with you. Number one, let's just blame fatigue for just a brief second, or laziness or lack of focus or whatever. You might not be thinking at all right now. Shame on you, right?
Yeah.
Shame on you. But here's the other tricky point, and this is why you can't just blame I'm not thinking. If you're thinking about car positioning right now, are you going to be thinking about managing your Storm Arrow? Maybe not. Maybe not. Are you going to be thinking about your Sonic? Maybe not. Are you going to be thinking about setting up your Dragon? Maybe not, right?
Yeah.
The reality of the situation is that you can only consciously process one thing at a time. And you have to unconsciously process every other skill. The problem is, number one, when a lot of your skills are bad, and or the problem is when you're not processing any skills at all. In other words, if you're thinking really hard about your car positioning, you take the spot up here, you might fumble your Sonic Arrow or your Dragon. But that's okay. Why?
Because I'm working on positioning right now.
Because you're working on positioning, right? And ultimately, the more you work on positioning, the more you'll be able to position without thinking. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the goal is to build more automatic skills through repetition. But to build those automatic skills, you must think. You must think. What I don't want you to look at this is I don't want you to take car positioning and apply it and then mess up your dragons and be like, man, I wasn't thinking about dragons. I should have been thinking about dragons. No. You were thinking about something else. You can't think about both. You got to choose one. Now, you might have some days or some games where you practice one thing and some games where you practice another, but don't beat yourself up for not thinking about everything. Beat yourself up for not thinking about one thing. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the goal is to be an instinctual player where, like, when you're playing your best, you're not thinking at all. But to get there, you do need to think about one thing at a time. So if you could look me in the eye and say that I was thinking about X, she's right next to you, by the way. If you were looking me in the eye and be like, this game I was thinking about X, and so that's why my Y or Z was bad, then I'm fine with that. But if you look at this and you're like, oh yeah, I just wasn't thinking at all, then yeah, we have a problem. And this is again where we go back to the fatigue and your focus level. Because if 90% of the time, the reason why people aren't thinking at all is something outside of the game. Not like, oh, some emotional trauma. You just were tired, or you're not in the habit of fully thinking. Different stuff like that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. All right.
I definitely would say, like, in this case, I was tired, and I think I had another loss before this, so I might have been slightly tilted as well.
That's why you take breaks. That's why you take the 60 seconds. It doesn't fix the problem, but it alleviates some of the issues. Do you have cover, angle, range?
I mean, I have cover. I do not have much of anything else, I think. I can't really see anyone here. I might be able to look at the bat, but...
I mean, this looks okay. I mean, like, what is your alternative, right?
Yeah. So I guess it's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, you have an angle too as well, because look at your Roadhog, right?
True. Yeah.
Right. You know, you're thinking about like, oh, I'm playing with my Ashe or whatever. It doesn't matter. You guys are. You just need to be a split from somebody. You might stack with your tank because your DPS is on the flank. Like you just want an angle. And are you playing range? Well, about as good as you can get, right? Like maybe you could back off to here if you know the Genji's there, but this isn't too bad, especially right. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Now, I'm thinking this is because you took a little bit of damage, but utilize that heal passive. You're fine.
Yeah. Here, I'm thinking way too much about Genji here.
Well, the irony is that you're thinking about Genji, but then you approach him in all the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like he's there, he's going to come back, or he's going to peek this here. This is the way to approach the Genji, not here, right?
Yeah, I was mad at myself for that one after that. It's like I knew I dropped the ball on him. Like, what was I doing there?
Well, you probably were like, oh, I should have gotten the kill.
Yeah, I think I do that as well, and I've worked on it before, and it always comes back.
Right.
I got hungry.
Right, and I get that. I get that. What I want you to do is I want you to get hungry in the right spots. Yeah. I want you to be educatedly aggressive, right? Hold good angles, deepen those angles, push those angles if you'd like to, but don't drop and stand in front of your team.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, this is just all mechanics, but you did everything right here, right? You channeled into Stormbow. There you go. Hit the one that mattered.
Yeah, finally.
I would have used my Sonic here. Or not even use it at all. Because what's the point of Sonicking here?
Yeah, I can see them anyway, I think.
Right? So at that point, just save the cooldown.
Yeah.
Good angle. Cover angle range, right? You got it, right? It's perfect.
Yeah.
So you're missing every shot. Well, every shot except for that one. But you're still causing chaos. Soldier ran away. Zenyatta's looking at you. So even though you missed almost every single shot, you're still winning this team for your winning this fight for your team, excuse me.
Yeah.
Good. And look at that.
Yeah. I did not have to do that.
And because you have no cover, right? You have to win this right now. Otherwise, you're screwed.
Yeah. That's one of those situations where I think, like, I would lean and, like, take hard risks like that because I could just delete people. It was still a bad idea, but I would risk it for that sake.
Right. So
really
there's
can't do that now.
A little less reward for the risk, right? So you got to look at that and be like, was that me just hard egoing, or was that just me just not fully thinking about my health, or was this just me not fully thinking about my cover, or what?
Yeah, I think I was egoing there. I think I just really wanted to just like, okay, I'm gonna finish this. But,
all right.
Yeah, bad idea.
Nice. Cover angle range. It's not terrible here, right? It's not terrible.
Yeah.
But if you want to go Rambo mode, right? Like you want to get in there. Okay, so then cover angle range. Where do you go Rambo mode?
Probably bridge on the top right.
Could lunge across here, wall climb up here, and start going Rambo mode here. Cover angle range. It's a little close, but at least you have covered angle, right? And let's not lie. Hanzo is not exactly a sniper, right? Yeah, no. So cover angle range does not mean that you have to play distance necessarily. It might mean getting in brawl melee range with your storm arrow and butchering this guy. All right? Cool with me. Take an angle, shoot. Just cover an angle, at least. Yeah. Good. Don't go back. I noticed this. You take a little bit of damage and you lose the angle a little bit. You need to trust your supports a little bit and or trust the heal passive a little bit more. Use this. This heal passive says, oh, you don't have to leave. You got some chip damage. You're good. We got your back because you do not have cover angle now. In fact, this isn't even like, I mean, this is kind of range, but this is, I mean, what if you would want to get closer to this guy, right? So this is just a mess. And so you almost die there. And that's the irony, is you almost die because you were scared of dying.
Yeah, makes sense.
Cover angle. Where do you go?
I have cover, but I'm not looking at anybody. I don't have.
Right. Well, actually, do you have an angle?
No, I don't think so. I mean,
no, you don't.
I'm kind of just standing on top.
Where should you go?
I probably should have gone around back or if I'm already here.
Gone around back. You started here, team rotates. I want you to double back. You can Sonic here, and then you're going to Storm Arrow, and this guy is dead.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's point blank range. You have Storm Arrow. That's your I win button.
Yeah.
And now the funny thing is, again, you are actually vulnerable to that soldier on the flank.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing.
Here, I heard him.
Nice. Nice. Well done.
Yeah, I like realized my mistake because I heard him. But yeah.
Cover angle range. Yes?
Yeah.
No.
And now, yeah.
So this is the challenge for you. You want to finish this kill. I love it. So where do you go to deepen? Where do you go Rambo mode here? Don't run it down mid. Where do you go?
I think if I go to the other side, I can look behind that. Yeah.
That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it. I want you to draw a circle around the enemy team. That's your idea. So if this isn't good enough for you and you want to get saucy with it, don't stick your face directly here. Go here.
Got it.
That's your solution. And that's not just for this specific spot in this map, right? That's a rule, period. And I want to point out that you kind of did it here if you'd have been higher in HP, right? Remember with the Zenyatta?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Instead of going, oh, we got to kill him, I'm going to lunge out here, you wrapped around behind. Now, I would have preferred if you probably stayed on some form of cover here and obviously played your HP, but this is, it's messy.
Yeah.
That's how you get pincered, right? Somebody turns around and shoots you in the back, or you're like, oh no, I didn't see that, or whatever.
Yeah.
Cover angle range. Let's go. 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 Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. And now you could just absolutely chill. Nope, 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 no, 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 no.
Yeah.
So I don't actually have a huge problem with this. I would just prefer you to take this duel when you have Stormbow. You don't really have the advantage here anymore. You need your Storm Arrow. So I want you to pursue duels when you have Storm Arrow. Otherwise, or Storm Bow.
Yeah.
Or Storm Arrow. I get them mixed up. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then otherwise, just sit here and shoot. Cover angle range, right? You got it. Let's pop off.
Yeah. I got into here. And then I just failed at life. Oh my goodness. That one's... yeah.
It happens. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Now again, you want to get saucy with it, nobody's stopping you from sneaking up here with your Sonic and Storm.
Yeah.
As long as you play your cover well and you're sneaky with it, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Sure. Again, I wouldn't recommend this at this very second because you don't quite have Storm Arrow yet.
Yeah.
But I don't hate the idea if you have Storm Arrow. It's all right. Now you don't cover angle range. What do you do? Okay, you do that. That's something.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a thought.
Why did this work?
I wanted to push him off. I had Storm Arrow here.
Yeah, you had Storm Arrow when you needed it. That's it.
Yeah.
And now what should you do? You have cover angle range.
Yeah, they have to back up. So.
Yeah, cover angle range, right? So honestly, just chill. Now I'm a little scared because you're low.
Yeah,
so, you die. Yeah. You could have lunged there for sure. But it's not a bad play. Is that it? All right, I want to see you kill 6 here. Let's go. Ah, I'm lucky. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me another code. Please.
All right. And then I have 5BC8. Oh, wait, I'll text it.
That's okay. 5BC8.
B7.
B7. So what are you seeing so far as being issues?
I keep giving up good positions and just walking into the open.
Yep. Cover, angle, range. And remember, range is flexible with Hanzo.
Yeah.
What else?
That, and I'm taking duels without Storm Arrow.
Yes, want to avoid that whenever possible, unless that target is also low, also down cooldowns and so on. Use your judgment. Use your judgment, but yeah. Okay, let's keep going here. Any questions so far?
So far I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's making a lot of sense.
All right, sounds good. Good?
I
Good?
noticed that username.
Cover angle range. Where do you need to go?
Let's go up top to the right here.
Yeah, that's right. Open it up. It's a little close, but I think I can get away with it.
Yeah.
Pop it off. Positioning has been good.
Yeah.
Now you almost have your storm arrow, so what should you do?
Getting ready to take another duel.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Positioning has been really good so far, and you're popping off. Where should you go now?
I think I can
Cover angle range.
I can either stay where I'm at or go to the left and take.
I prefer left. I like Rambo mode. As long as you're not too far, like too isolated, I want this angle instead. This is better. Because see, they're hiding from your team on main, which means this angle is OP. This is why angles matter.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
This is why you can't see anybody here, because they're hiding from you. So if you go here, they hide from you by going this way, and then they die to your Ashe or your Echo, excuse me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like
this is not a good rotation. It doesn't matter that much, but there was a missed opportunity there.
Yeah.
Cover angle range.
I'm a little.
I mean, I love the fact that you got that kill, but honestly, your positioning is important right now. Where do you need to be?
I can. If I was already on that high ground, I could have done the same thing from that high ground a little bit, close to that doorway, so then I can also hide the Ashe and be annoying.
You could have even hit here and done the exact same thing. You could have rotated over to here.
Yeah.
Options. I mean, this is perfect, right?
Yeah.
Only problem here is what?
I was doing the right thing, and then I decided to walk forward for some reason.
I know why you decided to walk forward. Watch what cooldown you're using.
Okay. I'm trying to storm arrow out this Ashe.
You're locked in.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on that. That is a very common problem.
Yeah.
Especially with storm arrow.
It's the only thing, yeah.
Just press W. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you need to be?
I want to get to this like top bridge thing and look down on their team.
Or?
I can maybe that wall to the left. I can like use it.
I mean, come on.
This spot. Yeah.
Come on. This checks a box for juicy angle here, right?
Yeah. I didn't notice that. That's great. Yeah.
And you notice that when you avoid the Bob, see how everybody in the enemy team is able to hide from you? Because they're all hiding from your Hog and you and your Echo and your Brigitte and your Kiriko. You're all in the same spot. Take an off angle here. Yeah, you got to have the jiggle peek Bob a little bit, but that's fine.
Yeah.
You could even deepen your angle, like we said, and go Rambo mode and do this here. You see this?
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Angles are overpowered. They are the solution to Overwatch 2. Use your dragon here. Might be too late now. Do you see your W key? Check it out. It's only a little bit here, but watch this.
Yeah.
You were in it to win it.
Yeah. Like I need to get a closer look at that one.
Yeah, and that's what kills you. So ultimately, no angle, not consistent cover. And that's going to be all she wrote. Nice. You see, here's what I'm concerned about a little bit. You definitely are aware, oh, high ground good. You know, these high ground's good, right? But you don't really have, at least you're not showcasing consistently, a really consistent philosophy of how you'd like to position. Right?
Yeah.
So for me, What do you want? You want to cover in an off angle. How is that going to look? I don't know. Where's the enemy team? Maybe you go here. Maybe you go here. Maybe you hard flank here. Maybe you can take high ground. Oh, they're not in high ground. Maybe I'm going to hard flank over here. The maps are designed to give you multiple options and for you to read the situation and make that decision. So I don't want you to memorize positions to take. That's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah,
I want you to... Yes, go ahead.
I definitely have like position. I know I like them.
Right. So I want you to think about, I need cover and angle and play to my range. Either short, medium, depending on the situation. And then see what's available. Like right now, is this a good spot for you to be?
I think it's all right.
I think it's so great. Cover angle, yes.
Yeah.
They're here. You're up top here. Where are they going to hide?
Yeah, they have to back way up.
Good Sonic as well. Good Storm.
I heard him coming, and I just didn't.
You missed your Sonic, but not only did you miss your Sonic, look at where you're positioned.
Yeah, I don't know. I like walked forward instead of into that room because I knew he was coming.
I mean, you could be an absolute demon here, ruin this ultimate play, and still hold your off angle.
Yeah.
No cover.
But I did whatever that was.
And yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Nice. Cover angle, cover angle. Okay.
It's what you said. Like, I'm just used to going right there.
Yeah. Dragon's fine. Gets you a little bit of space. Cover angle. New options have been presented. Where are they? It's top. It's left. Right? It's top. Yeah. Same spot. Let's see what you do. Nice. Just don't press W. You don't need to press W here. Just hold the corner. You see that you're pressing W? You see it? You see it? You see it? You see it? This is how you die.
I push W and then I try to walk back.
Yeah. It's because you want to make the shot slightly easier to hit. But you have to look at it this way. It's easier to hit shots when you're not having in manual input, when you don't have to move. So you're pressing W, so you're getting closer to make the easier shot easier, but also you could just stand perfectly still.
Yeah. And just hit
and you also would cut down into your deaths, and you'd also cut down on the number of pressure that you're under as well. So you would be able to relax more, die less, and do more damage. Let's go. Let's go. I love it. I love it. I love it. You got your Storm Arrow? Let's go. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Yes. Cover angle range. You got it. Let's go. Turn your brain off and press the buttons. Silly.
Yeah.
You lost your cover.
Yeah, I moved up again.
Uh-huh. And you had to run away from Blizzard. Well, she threw it really deep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
And I'm in a room, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But it's more how that fight started needed to be fixed more than anything else, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's awkward.
Yeah, I'm like kind of waiting because I think at some point I heard them and I'm like afraid to commit.
So here's what I want you to do. All right. Well, actually, you tell me what should you do here? Because I know why you're here. It's a good idea.
I think I have to Sonic them off. Dragon them off.
Yep.
High ground.
Then what?
And then if they have to jump down, then I can. Now the high ground's mine, so I have the angle.
Sure. Well, it depends. And if your entire team stands high ground, you don't want to be here. But it reads your team's actions. If they all drop and you can stay here by yourself, sure. If they all keep fighting here, maybe you consider doubling back, right?
Yeah. Got it. Here I'm spending all my time shooting the.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot else to shoot there until the end, and your support's just completely beefed. So it is what it is.
Got it. Okay.
I'm not really concerned about, like, oh, you know, little tiny details, unless it's something that you've consistently had problems with. This is definitely where I'd not be going backwards, though. That Mei is no ice block right in front of you, and you turn back to shoot a Winston bubble. That needed to be a kill on the Mei, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's go. Cover angle. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. No, 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 no. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. You got it. You know she's there. Take it. Let's go.
This is my instinctual fear of maze.
Right. But your instinctual fear of maze is going to lose you this fight if you're not careful. Because you're storm arrowing on main, right in the middle of the open. I mean, you are not checking any of the boxes right now.
Yeah.
You're hitting some shots, which is like great, and your team has a lot of ultimates, but you are now going to be dead. Maybe? 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 I mean, this is I mean, there's honestly not even a lot to talk about here. This is just a mess.
Yeah. That dragon is panic as well.
I mean, yeah. This is literally just deathmatch now, and you hit your shots. Come on. Can you hit him? Can you hit him? Can you hit him? Yeah, you do. That was wild. That was something else. Okay. Let's keep going. Again, any questions so far?
Stop the payload.
How do you like to play Mei? Because
Me?
Yeah.
I like taking angles and duels and abusing the fact that I have a ice block and ice wall and the ability to range one shot. I don't like walling off tank too much depending on the situation.
I meant as in like against her.
Oh! I was like, that's an odd question. You need to try and hit a shot, force ice block. You can force ice block with storm arrow, and then you can create some distance, re-engage afterwards. So just shoot her, have storm arrow. There's nothing different than anything else that you do.
Okay.
Literally nothing different. Yeah. You force the ice block, and then look at the situation and be like, do I want to take this duel anymore? Am I low? Do I still have my storm arrow? Do I still have my lunge? Am I full HP? And if the answer is, well, no, I'm not really, then just run away. Lunge away. Because if she cancels ice block early to chase you, well, then she's still not fully healed. Right?
Got it.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Force ice block, and then decide if you want to stay. I don't know what the plan was there from that guy, but okay. Cover angle range, where should you be?
I can be back right, like to my right here, forward, where that Mercy is, yeah. Or
got it.
Yeah,
got
it.
That's pretty much it. You're stuffing your face into a small room. It's ugly. It's messy. There's a Moira on you. There's a damage orb. There's a Winston on you. It's a disaster, right? Where is the Winston? Oh, he's in there. Get off of Times Square. You know, like this is where you're at right now. Like you are in a crowded, bustling city, and you're making things so chaotic for yourself because of how you're positioning. Open up your angle. Give yourself more vision. Give yourself more cover. Even here is a little stressful, right?
Yeah. I'm just...
And remember, whenever it's always the case, but whenever I ask you, where should you be? Nice shot. You always knew, almost always knew, pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But this is literally just deathmatch right now. If you hit your shots, you pop off. If you don't, you die. And there's no in between. Good positioning means that even if you don't hit your shots, you're still contributing value and doing so consistently.
Yeah, I think that happens to me often. Where like I'll just get stuck in like all right, I'm just gonna shoot at them. And then
Yeah, absolutely. So this definitely needs to be a habit, whether you're tired or not. There's no excuse for it. This is what we're seeing right now, because what we're seeing right now is even if you are tired, then you need to build your autopilot so that you don't position like this. Like even right now, where should you go right now?
I wall climb up to my left.
You got it. Again, took you 2 seconds to come up with that answer, and it is the correct answer.
Yeah.
You can even throw the dragon on main if you want to. Like, it's fine a dragon there, but oh my goodness, what is this?
Dang it.
This is why you're gold. Just FYI.
Yeah.
I don't think your mechanics are too bad. I've not been too displeased with your cooldowns. Obviously, sometimes taking duels without Storm Arrow. Some of the Sonics have been a little messy here and there, but honestly, it's been fine. Your positioning is not good.
Yeah.
Fix that, and fix that crucially to the point where you can do it without thinking. You will be platinum. Where should you go?
I
Rambo.
I can't. They're under, so I probably just have to. If I go backwards this way, I think, right? I'll be able to see their backs.
Like this or back?
Back this way. I think I'll be able to see them here. Yeah. Yeah.
You notice again that this wasn't just jamming your face down the middle. Remember the Esperanza? You're wrapping deeper on the flank.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That circle I did, right?
That's it. That's it. Draw a circle. Yeah. I mean, I don't even need to say anything, right?
Yeah.
Right? You spent time chasing the tank around, and then you put yourself in a really dangerous spot, had no opportunity to pop off whatsoever, and now you're having to hit shots in melee range. Yeah. Okay. That's all. If you feel stupid, you should feel good about yourself. Because stupid means that the answer is simple.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I should know better than that. Good. Now go do it. Right?
Exactly.
That means that the solution is in theory relatively simple. Right now, where should you be?
I should be up top on the bridge.
You got it. Go get him. He's far enough away. Go get him. Yes. Yes. Yes, storm him. Look at that jackass. Look at him. Look at him. I mean, okay. You have at least there's some logic here because dragon, but you definitely don't want to be here for long. Get out of here. All right, retake. Surely, right? Surely, right? Ah. Uh-oh. Shocker. Look who used the high ground.
Yeah.
All right, come on, Kovacs. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, definitely need to get back here now. Why did you drop? Watch carefully.
Seeing this monkey.
Watch carefully. See it?
Yeah.
Storm arrow again. You noticing that? Keep an eye on that.
I walked in.
It's not just the lack of cover, but also storm arrow is like a rubber band snapping you back forward again. It's pulling you forward again. So keep an eye on that.
I never noticed. That's great.
Now, there's other option here. You could be angling here. If your teammate walks forward, you don't have to stay on the high ground. You could adjust your angle here. You could play here. You could play, here. This would be fine too. Which one are you going to take? Which one are you going to take? Deep and left. You could wrap main. Just don't stand here because there's no cover here, right?
Yeah. I walked
right?
that.
Right? Yeah. Unlucky things happen when you don't have a philosophy of what you're supposed to do. This is an awkward fight, right? It was like, where do I go? Right? Like, I don't know. But you have to, but you just got to make a decision, right? Like you got to go, well, I'm going to come up in here. There's some cover. Or I'm going to go over here where there's some cover, right? Or I'm going to back up and wrap through here. Or maybe I'm going to contest like 1v1 this Reaper up top with my Storm Arrow. I'm okay with that. Make a decision because floating in no man's land in the open is the worst decision, right? I'm telling you, you're one fix. It's going to take time to practice this. It's not going to be quick. But if you address this positioning with your taking angles with cover, you will be platinum, if not diamond. It might not happen very quickly, but that one fix. This is what we've been missing. And look at all the shots that you're missing. And yet, look at what happened. Look at this. It's hard. I mean, it is hard to aim from high ground, right? Not every... sometimes it's easier to pick flat angles, right? There's not really a flat angle here, but so it's easier to hit your shots. However, it's also harder for them to hit their shots. You Storm Arrow. Soldier looks at you. Zenyatta hides from you. And also look what happens with the Zenyatta. Oh, he freaks because you shoot him. That is at least 50% your fault. At least. You just force a trance and you hit one shot. One.
Yeah.
And look at your HP.
Yeah, I'm still pretty good.
And you're still on the angle too. You're still lethal.
Yeah.
So this fight's lost because trance, but the funny thing is you could go right back. You could go right back. If you get pressured here a little bit, you hide, go right back. Go right back. Utilize that DPS passive. You'd be almost full HP right now. You're second guessing yourself and you're taking the rotation to Guam. I don't care. Sometimes this is the weakness of having a character like Hanzo that doesn't have a lot of mobility. Sometimes you're going to get caught in an angle and might die. You might die. That's just how it is. Make it expensive. Do something with that death. Because by the time you get back here, your positioning is worse, and the fight's lost.
Yeah. I think I'm like...
So congrats, you weren't the first death, but you're also going to be the reason why your team loses this fight.
Yeah.
You're the reason your team even had a chance to win this fight, and then you threw it away. And the funny thing is this is actually where you're hitting crazy shots, but it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Really nice angle there. You second guessed yourself. I think you just assumed that your supports were closer than they were. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, your supports just weren't there yet. That's all. Okay. Let's you got time for one more fight?
All right.
And we'll make some notes.
Okay. That's good.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Options, give me 3.
I can go to the room at the top left, the little pillar that I was just in before when I last died. Or I can maybe play that like room in there. I want to
Like
say
here?
ground level. Yeah.
This would be all right. Yeah. There's actually 4. Can you find the 4th?
Oh, yeah. Back there.
High risk, high reward, but something to consider.
Yeah. I wasn't considering the cards.
Mm-hmm. Weird Sonic, but good dragon.
Yeah.
There's just nothing to say here, right?
Yeah.
You're under so much pressure. You can see nothing. You're getting flanked. You have Visor, you have Cole, a Grav in your face. You probably shouldn't have gotten Grav there and died, but yeah. Let's take some notes. Hanzo, what needs to be practiced? What do you think?
Okay. So my cover angle range positioning.
Cover, positioning, cover, angle, play to your range. Not necessarily far, can be close. Take angles with cover, please.
Yeah.
What else?
I have to play that circle around them when I can.
Take angles and play the circle around them. Go Rambo mode by wrapping deeper angles, not running it down mid. Okay.
Gotcha.
What else?
And then I have to stop walking forward whenever I get Storm Arrow.
Don't press W always when Storm Arrow. Take duels with Storm Arrow.
Yeah.
Right. I think that was mostly it. Was there anything else?
The other thing was I panic and like abandon angles really easy. I'll just drop.
Don't abandon angles. You get pressured a little. Use cover. It heals, even passive. Do you have any questions?
How do you stay like focused like mid match on these things? Like
You don't. You don't. You could take the mid round break, between attack and defense if you'd like, to remind yourself. Maybe have a sticky note, something like that. But the best thing that you could do is just try to focus for as many fights out of the possible game that you can. If you're like, hey, I was able to remember the first 4 fights, great. It's better than what you're doing right now.
Gotcha. So, okay.
Yeah. The best that you can. You're not going to be perfect. Every game, you're going to be like, oh, I forgot to focus on something this fight. It's all right. I'll do better next time. It's all right. Anything's going to be better than what you're doing right now.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah.
Any other questions?
No, I think